fondest of greetings on this wonderful day. This is Archangel. Gentlemen, it's good for you. How often do guys hear this coercion? Romantic interaction and sexual congress with females is good for males. Everybody knows that interaction with females is a miraculous blessing and a modern health miracle. It nourishes your emotions, stimulates your intellect, stirs your creative juices, and stymies self-destructive habits. Right? Friends, whether you are cognizant or not, you are inundated with conformity rhetoric, such as relationships, marriage, and cohabitation with females is good for you. It grants you legal advantages, such as tax breaks. In addition, sexual participation with females is healthy for your body. It relieves stress, stimulates immune function, improves beneficial hormone profile, contributes to well-being, and promotes connection. And apparently, recreational congress with chicks fulfills your duty to species continuity. It is your ticket to social ease and acceptance. It cures everything. And, in case you're unaware, existing in the service of such angels is the highest pillar mortal man can achieve while incarnate. The accepted social canon is that males need female interaction in order to survive and thrive. Meanwhile, females do not need males. They do not benefit from male interaction. Rather, they humbly grace males in relationships that do not benefit them, and they do this solely out of the graciousness of their pure hearts. Regardless of your objection, this is how male-female relations are portrayed. However, have you ever contemplated the genesis of such fervor? Have you ever stepped back enough to observe the overwhelming tidal wave of female interactive pressure males are saturated with? No? Well, this is your wake-up call. To start off, guys are pushed towards female interaction by incessant, unrelenting biological drives and urges. Then, further directed through social pressure, even dogmatic orders issued from family, community, religion, only to be further brainwashed by the coupling indoctrination celebrated in pop culture and trendy media, movies, fiction, music, etc. Then, should a few males slip all the biological and social pressures of coupling and female utility providership, we employ shame to sweep behind and pick up the rebellious loose ends. You're selfish. You need to man up, take on your responsibilities, grow up, be the bigger person, etc. And if the shame fails, then we labor to convince males through science or logic why female subjugation is good for males. We literally do everything, exploit every angle, justification, and reason why males need to romantically interact with females. This realization escapes those who need its insight the most. Ignorant blue pill males, chasing salvation through female validation and male privilege revocation. Seriously, it would serve all males to divorce themselves from all environmental constructs long enough to observe the larger scheme in play here. When you really look at the larger picture, everything in our environment is purposefully meant to drive males to females, utilizing every known method of behavior conformity possible. It really is a marvel how so much natural and social energy is invested in trying to cause males to indulge in and become dependent on female relations. I am not debating that most males get ensnared in the rhetoric and truly believe female relations to indeed be beneficial for males. And since males are creators and placebo effect is real, they turn parasitism into a blessing, an asset for themselves. Nor am I denying that female romantic interaction, though not genuine love, may have special meaning to males who truly invest tender, real emotions into it. Nor say I that interactions do not cause fleeting bouts of excitement and chemical highs, the sensations of which are themselves extremely addicting. I am saying, hey, gentlemen, raise your heads. Look at all the machinations in play, pushing, driving, brainwashing, and coercing males into female subjugation. Why is so much invested into creating, nurturing, and fostering male need for females? Nature invests heavily via instincts, drives, urges, and psychological programmings, such as internal sense of lack and predispositions of longing for social interaction, plus physical pleasure rewards for sexual congress. And society invests through propaganda, customs, norms, brainwashing, shaming, and coercive tactics, such as supercharging sex in pop culture, and excessive coverage of agenda-fueled studies concluding female interaction benefits males. And finally, unrelenting repetition of all these factors blinds males to truth or breaks their spirit to mere conformity without greater understanding of the subterfuge in play here. Ask yourself one very crucial, critical question. Why does all of creation labor to drive males to females? Coercing, cajoling, shaming, and convincing males into female addiction is not new. This has been going on for millennia, yet you will notice differences in tactics throughout the ages, as humans have developed wealth, technology, and deeper introspection of the human animal in relation to the environment. In transit to modernity, we have had to invent more seductive ways to compel males into female interaction. Procreation and division of labor has been sufficient for centuries, but now the cerebral male needs more clever persuasions. So our mandates of males are now concealed in philosophy and science. But no matter how pretty and scientifically clever our claims of male benefit from female interaction, intent to enslave is the bottom line. Females' civilization, indeed our entire world, depends on broken, saddled males. I came across a clever example the other day. Sexual suppression supports the power of the church, which has sunk very deep into the exploited masses by means of sexual anxiety and guilt. It engenders timidity towards authority and binds children to their parents. This results in adult subservience to state authority and to capitalistic exploitation. It paralyzes the intellectual critical powers of the masses because it consumes the greater part of biological energy. Finally, it paralyzes the resolute development of creative forces and renders impossible the achievement of all aspirations for human freedom. In this way, the prevailing economic system in which single individuals can easily rule entire masses becomes rooted in the psychic structures of the oppressed themselves. Wilhelm Reich. A statement like this is devious. It mixes accurate insight with subliminal programming. So when procreation and man-up shaming fails to drive males to sexual congress with females, philosophy and science pick up the slack to appeal to intellectual males. Either way, sexual need dependably results in males' willing subjugation. You see, procreation, division of labor, sexual urge, even shaming was yesterday's gynocentric recruiter. However, humanity has outgrown God-crying explanations of rain. And now we require more clever vectors of male subjugation and entrainment. And so science, psychology, and philosophy are the 21st century gynocentric recruiters. Now, you may differ on meaning, interpretation, accuracy, or author character. However, this is just one of a gazillion contemporary examples of the ingenious programming compelling males toward females, much like misleading studies which report markedly increased longevity, satisfaction, and happiness amongst males in relationships. This is all agenda. Be free, sexually indulge, seems the takeaway message from the example statement. Yet when males sexually indulge, they do not practice sovereignty over basal drives and urges. And when instincts run males, they must necessarily involve themselves in the system where females select, males compete. Failure to overcome sexual desire places males under the direct rule of female exaltation. Dissecting this statement may reveal certain truisms, yet it is a Trojan horse of male coercion, meaning the implied congress of male and female might free one from constrictive corrupt institutions, such as religion, thus breaking the entrainment to alpha male authority submission. However, it also encourages males to indulge in a weakness which will lead them to the same ends of prostration before authority. It simply switches from state authority to female authority that males bow to. Repress sexuality, you become more malleable to state authority. Sexually indulge, you become more malleable to sexual need, and thus control by the gatekeepers of sexual allowance, females. And females in turn submit to state authority, just as females of native origin submit to invading armies. Either way, you find your way to authority acquiescence. So while the narrative of this statement is that repression leads to internal turmoil, the midst of which exposes one to susceptibility to authority, the alternative, which is sexual indulgence, will lead to a similar place, at least for males, since sexual indulgence will lead to need, and when desire turns to need, it makes one malleable to control by dealers who peddle that which is needed. There are two scenarios that revolve the example statement. One scenario has sexually frustrated yet dogma-obedient males submissive to authority. The other option has indulgent males needy and submissive to females who acquiesce to state authority. Either way, males are led to conformity beneath the whims of authority. Authority who in turn placates the female populace with rights and entitlements above males in order that a few low-life males may retain their authoritative position over other males. It is a schizophrenic dance between alpha authority males and females. Females submit to authority archetypes. At the same time, alphas submit to the demands of the female populace. 'Tis the blind leading the blind. Either way, alpha males obey and labor under gynocentric constraints. Meanwhile, we subjugate the genius and creativity of the male populace to support and maintain everything in the world. So, while sexual repression has been a tool of control used by religions for centuries, this statement represents an intellectual attempt to coerce males with the same old saw. Female interaction is good for the male. Yet we see that the statement, much like life, is rigged, since both sexual repression or sexual freedom tends to lead males to subjugation and control either way, simply different roads to the same plantation. Again, friends, ask yourself, why does all creation push males towards females? I cannot overstate how key this realization is, and the deeper truth it concedes, for it reveals an unsavory, politically incorrect truth. Males are the creative forces of this existence. Males are that upon which life literally depends. Males are the literal vector which builds, maintains, and protects in this life. Ultimately, males are the prize, and this is evidenced by the painstakingly intricate and expensive investments of nature and society to control males and compel them into female placation. Think about that point. All this coercion and control of males points out reality. Males are the prize, and we seek to control, to harness the prize by exploiting one predisposition in male design, the Achilles heel of these titans, their weakness for females, which manifests in many forms, such as leniency towards the physically timid or diminutive, or male mother need, which matures into the need for approval from female figures, or the ineptitude to exercise control over sexual appetites, which tends to flare in the presence of pretty painted-up faces or overflowing cleavage. In the process of exploiting male softness for females, we bind straitjacket paradigms and propaganda on them, such as monogamy or marriage, to harness their labors and submit them to an agenda of female utility providership. Because the secret is, while social themes of male denigration and female exaltation rage on, the ugly little truth is that males are the creative forces from which all life is dependent, period. Now, parishioners of the Church of the Holy Feminine will try to usurp this male greatness truth with deceptive red herring euphemisms, such as, behind every great man there is a woman, or they will lay down the ultimate poker hand, females create life. But this is purposeful smoke and mirror distraction, because females do not consciously create life. They merely allow life to replicate and create itself within them. And this is called gestation, not creation. And if females really want to have a pissing contest, it is males who impregnate females. This step is non-negotiable. So everything boiled down, it all starts with males. Males create. Females exist as receivers dependent upon the creators. Oh, I know. This blasphemy flies in the face of propaganda that females are creators, angels, and males are villains, disposable pawns. Okay, well, don't take my word for it. Simply look at the pressures we suffocate guys with and ask yourself, if dudes are of inferior worth and consideration, why do we do everything possible to control them and direct their labors? Dance around the bush all you like. The answer is kindergarten simple. Males are the prize, and survival depends upon breaking them to gynocentric conformity and squelching their instinct to be free. So to convince them against their instinct to be bit and saddle free, we therefore throw every possible coercion tactic at them, both natural and social, to compel their willing submission to female validation solicitation. Look around. Everywhere, everyone wholly endorses and defends the natural gynocentric process of females select, males compete. And this procreative animal archetype gives the impression that it is females who are the prize. Yet humanity is different from nature. Nevertheless, we still claim natural prioritizations, namely female superiority. We exalt females as the employers, thumbing applications from males who are the lesser consideration in this interaction. Hence, we see males as disposable suitors, looking to gain favor with the objects of replication gestation. We observe a prize as that which is fought over, a thing of elevated worth which is competed for, and everywhere we look, females are represented as the prize. Guys win a race, they get a kiss from a woman. Guys are inundated with memes of, if you work hard, you will get the girl. We represent females as a prize for males, meaning we bait males who are of inferior worth with female prizes for their efforts. But that seems a contradiction. Why spend time baiting the unhygienic pawns who squabble, fight, and compete when we could put our energies into further female worship? You see, males are the creative forces in life, yet we are propagandized with pretty females and childbirth shaming into male devaluation. Understand that nature does not necessarily translate to humanity. The reproductive paradigms of fetus gestation are simply mechanical conditions that do not translate to the whole. In other words, just because females, like a human parking garage, discern who will park inside, this in no way translates to priority. The garage is not more important than the car. In fact, the garage is made to house the car. Thus, the car is the focal point. The purpose of the garage is the car. Value priority does not parallel the garage, who thinks itself superior because it screens cars who compete to park in it. So, which sex commands more influence in life? Think about it. To maximize survival, we seek to mold power-rich sources. We do not waste time or energy trying to coerce insignificant or lesser resources. Translated, males are the power-rich. Males are the prizes in life, and the evidence is our campaigns throughout history which have been aimed at swaying males into female relations. Campaigns of natural or social endeavor are not waged to drive females into male interaction. Females do not need to be convinced they need males. They know this. However, gynocentrism favors them. So female animals simply go into heat, and human females use cosmetics and perfumes to draw males to them. Yet, like the car, the focus here is males. It is all about trying to control and sway males. Control females, you get little except liability. Control males, you control that which builds and propels civilization. Bottom line, control males, you control humanity. Now, to control males, we exploit male weakness for females, and the power ambitious throughout history have understood this. Control males through females, and many a dictator have courted females as a means of male populace control. It is far less expensive than funding troops to force males to conform. Yet the instruments of control are not the centerpiece. They are simply a medium, an intermediary to manipulate the true resource. The real agenda is male control, because we seek to control that which is greater, not lesser, since the greater has more sway in physicality, and physicality is where we all find ourselves. Seriously, look at the mechanisms in place, driving males to female interaction. Can you not see the monumental efforts employed in such endeavors? Do such natural and social investments in male control represent a lesser value sex? No. The greatest investments of control are put into the value rich. All the while, propaganda states the tools of control, females, are the be-all end-all. For if the willing pawns knew they are the prize, the entire game would go sideways, and the tools of control might have to solicit attention and provision from the tools they once presumed to rule over. Males are like electricity. It is the creative force the appliance depends on. Yet we celebrate and marvel at the appliance. We pretend the appliance is greater. It simply needs a little juice. Could come from a wall outlet or a generator, maybe solar or wind generation, whatever. Yet, the appliance is the receiver, not the producer of it. It is acted upon. The priority is the electricity. Electricity is the prize. And when harnessed, everything else is lesser details. So too are males humanity's electricity. Females are the celebrated receivers. They are acted upon. It is males that are required to do anything. Males are the prize. I don't know how I can put that into simpler terms. Yet when the prize is made to downregulate brilliance and appreciate value, he becomes an average piece of meat, and indeed embodies the expendable pawn propaganda represents him as. We have a population of creative sparks besmirching themselves because they have been brainwashed with male devaluation, or they have not overcome basal desires or emotional inadequacies they seek female approval for. These males are very much like Rudolph, who puts coal on his nose to hide its glowing brilliance in order to fit in and gain approval from the commoners. We need male acquiescence to female-favoring paradigms. Of males compete, females select, in order to keep males under gynocentric institutions of natural and human rule, which invoke disposability of the electricity in favor of the appliance. The evidence is simple and clear. We invest so much into male control, behaviors, appearance, beliefs, etc., because they are the more crucial, relevant factor in existence, meaning males are the prize, to the point that their lack of gynocentric compliance would bring the world to its knees. Yes, we are that powerful, that critical. Yet, at the end of the day, my observations point to the fact that males will ultimately choose to suckle their need for female validation, choosing any number of readily available, prepackaged excuses, from the plain and simple to the intellectual. It's good for male health and longevity. It's fun and stress relieving. It leads to social acceptance and tax breaks. Besides, that is your duty to procreate and carry society. That's what a man does. You a man or a sissy? In a world of pain and uncertainty about everything, we therefore grasp at temporary pleasures to sate us for the moment, because we know not what the future holds. And on undisciplined males, fear trumps intellectual knowledge. We cerebrally understand and can prove statistically and experientially that female interaction is detrimental to males, and this can be understood on an intellectual level, a level where one assesses investment-return ratios. Yet fear, being the strongest of emotions, can trump intellect and draw upon animalistic instincts to compel action contrary to logical wisdom. Perhaps you fear not enjoying life, or you fear being left out of community embrace or approval, or you fear not receiving female approval to feed your identity that you are special, you are needed. Perhaps you fear not spreading your genetics, which would represent your erasure from nature. There are any number of items which cause males to fear not interacting with females. Everything from life short, be merry while the sun shines, to it's your duty to continue the species. But for just a moment, remove your head from between the collective feminine's thighs. Step back and observe the numerous avenues driving males to female interaction, natural instincts and drives, as well as social pressures proffering female interaction is good for males. We reward males that acquiesce, and we then castigate, mock, shame, even ostracize males that refuse. We repeat the desirability of coupling over and over and over, with infinite repetition in our pop culture, our lore, our music, our cinema. We exalt coupling as some advanced step humans take to become better, enlightened. step back for a second and really take in the ubiquitous cavalcade of pressure from all angles driving males to female interaction, and ask yourself one crucial question. Why? Why the overwhelming investment in compelling males into extended female associations? If males and females are two peas in a pod, if they are yin and yang, if they are soulmates meant to be together, why do we have to convince, cajole, nag, and drive males into female interactions? Why is everything in this world a construct to control males? Because you are the purpose. You are not an accessory. You are the key ingredient. You are the electricity. You are the creative force. Others need you. Gynocentrism needs you controllable. So male weakness for female validation is the chink in the armor used to control you. But make no mistake, Y chromosomes are the prize, and our investment in controlling them should tell you all that you need to know. My friends, stand with me, live free.